And so there's something that magicians know, and it's pretty out there already, so I don't have to worry about anything. But it's called the ambitious card technique. You've seen David Blaine perform this before, so on and so forth. So if you want a individual, a spectator, so on and so forth, to, well, believe that they'll never make it in life, right? Every time that they reach a plateau, they reach a level in which they think they can, they can relax, well, you go ahead and you take them and you place them even further down in life, so on and so forth. And then you give them time with other challenges and you wait to see if they rise to the occasion. Now, this is one way of doing this effect, but I mean, if it was only one way of doing the effect, how would the effect be done a different way? Right? So let's say you start off again at the top, right? You make a more salary, you get the degree, so on and so forth, etc. Well, then what they do is they take you again and they place you further down, right? To see if you can handle the weight on top of your shoulders. For heavy is the head that wears the crown, but there's no kings. However, there are senators, politicians, so on and so forth, other entities within different areas that you would have a rank structure, right? Because people need structure in life to make things logical. And then if you're able to, well, handle the pressure and all that weight, right, well, then you would rise to the top, right? Then what they do is, well, they'll expose you to as many people as possible, right? Now, you guys understand the ambitious card routine. It's been revealed before by the masked magician and a couple other people, but you can also see tutorials on YouTube. So if you remember David Blaine, now they put even more weight, right? And they discover, okay, let's do it this way. So now it's extremely visual, right? Let's get up close here, right? And then they take you and they bury you down further in life with even more weight, right? This is for you veterans out there that have broken backs, the weight that has been pushed on your back, so on and so forth, that forces you to bend. But if you're strong enough, you can, right, rise to the occasion once again, because, well, there's a certain mentality with a certain group of people that I would like to call veterans that have been taught how to rise to a challenge or rise to the occasion, as they say, right? Now, some people may say that I'm speaking with some type of gravitas or bravado, and well, you're goddamn right I am, because I'm a former Marine, and once a Marine, always a Marine, right? I got this hat. I wanted to speak to as many people as possible. I know it looks bright out here today, but I wanted people to see this hat. It's called Vet Gang, right? So if you're a part of the Vet Gang, yo, go support them, so on and so forth. I have nothing to do with them outside of the fact that I'm a veteran and I like supporting their gear. So maybe you'll see other gear on here as well. But in the meantime, I wanted this video to be impactful, and also for those of you that are veterans that are listening to this, or listening in, if you're not, you're picking up on what I'm laying down, especially with everything that I've thrown out in front of other people, giving them a lot of clues. Whether that was a Zippo lighter, a deck of playing cards, keys, etc., right? So let's continue. Now, if you've seen the TV show The Mentalist, Patrick Jane talks about, well, somebody being underneath hypnosis. Other people might say someone's been spelled, right? In the world of magic, you can, and psychology, you can set up certain trigger points, and I'm pulling from Derren Brown's television appearance on his UK show, right, which I think the BBC allowed. And so because it's in the public domain, if this were to get submitted somewhere, it could be presented as case law or as a case study that something can be done. So first you have to set up a trigger. What could be a trigger? A girl in a polka dotted dress, the girl in the red dress, i.e. the Matrix, right? The girl with the red shoes, Dorothy, right? And Wizard of Oz, wanting to peek behind the curtain, right? So think of that analogy there. Then, of course, the actions, okay? What are the actions? Well, if you know the individual, then you can learn how to manipulate the individual and their actions, whether that's by words, stories being told, improper information, whatever the case may be, inducing fear, drugging them, whatever the case may be. So, what's the action, right? So let's say anger is one of them. Well, if you put them in a position and they already have triggers, the way you would entrap somebody in life, right? Give them a label, right? After you label somebody that has the ability to do something or the ability to say something, but then you restrict them to see if they will, well, break the bounds, right? However, if they do their research, they just pull their bus up right next to yours because you were trying to throw them under a bus. So they do their research and they go back and forth. But what happens when the other side starts cheating, or they have group effort or group mindset or group think because they are one? Well, then who's implicated? Well, in the TV show Hustle, they say die with the lie, but what